Shalom and welcome to our 25th annual Feast of Weeks. This is part 7 of Great is Yahweh ben Yahweh, the Holy One of Israel.
How do we get into this position? Work ethic. I'll admit the field is full of weeds. I'll admit the field is full of rocks and stones. I admit the ground is hard. I admit it's going to take a lot of preparation to turn this soil over and get it irrigated so that some life, and I admit it's going to need some natural organic fertilization. I admit it. But I'm also here to tell you that this is your responsibility as the first fruit, is to go and prepare the soil, the minds of our people, to receive the seeds of riches. And when you plant your seeds of riches and success, I'll give you 100 for every one you plant. You want $200,000? You just plant 2,000 seeds. That's all. And see, when you plant a field, it starts with one step at a time. After you get it all prepared. See, it takes some work to get it prepared now. There's no luck about this. Nothing that I have produced is lucky. I work day and night. I still work day and night. We work. And while the world marvels, we work. While the world is unemployed, we are fully employed. No unemployment in the nation of Yahweh. Not one is unemployed. I have a job for every single citizen of the nation of Yahweh. Do you hear me? That's awesome. If your enemy fire you, I'll hire you. But you can't work for me like you work for your enemy. You can work for him and be immoral. You can work for him and be dishonest. You can work for him, be poor, and stay poor. But you can't work for me and be poor and stay poor. And you can't work for Yahweh and stay dishonest. You have to be honest. So I'm sure that I will not run out of application blanks soon. You know, applications for employment. I'm sure I'll have plenty on hand. There'll not be a long line standing in front of my counter for employment, because I demand morality. One of the conditions of being employed in the nation of Yahweh is honesty and morality and a rich mind, a mind that desires to be successful and willing to work long hours, hard hours. Yeah, that's the way we work. And you have to be willing to give up pettiness and give up foolishness and give up stealing. Feast of Weeks is a happy time. Feast of Weeks is an enjoyable occasion. And during the Feast of Weeks, Yahweh commands us to rejoice. And when you have $100,000 in the place of the 1,000 that you put up, that's enough to rejoice about, isn't it? How many know I'm making that possible? Yes, I'm making it possible. How many bear witness? I'm showing you how to prosper. How many bear witness that if you follow me, you will enjoy ever increasing wealth? You a witness? Then only logical people are following me. To rejoice at our feast is not optional. Yahweh commands us to come before him with joy. Why? Because he gets pleasure from seeing his children happy. Feast of Weeks is a happy time. Feasting is an enjoyable occasion. Normally we think of feasting as having a bountiful table of food fit for a king, much more than we would ever be able to eat. And all of the high holy days of Yahweh are called feasts. Passover and Feast of Unleavened Bread. Now we're celebrating Feasts of Weeks. And in the last of September, we will be celebrating Feasts of Tabernacles. And of course, we always have the best food on earth at our feasts. But we who are familiar with the high holy days of Yahweh know that it is a feast of spiritual food that satisfies our soul and adds luster to our lives. It is here at the Feast of Weeks that we have learned who to love. Praise Yahweh. It is here at the Feast of Weeks that not only do we learn who to love, but we learn in what order love must flow. And then, as important, and certainly not least or last, is we learn how to love. What good is it to want love and not recognize it when you get it? What good is it to potentially have it and don't recognize it or don't know what to do with it? During the Feast of Weeks, we learn that Yahweh commands us to rejoice. We learn that rejoicing is not optional. We learned last night that Yahweh says, come before his presence with singing. And that Yahweh gets pleasure from us being happy. And as Yahweh's son, I too get pleasure from seeing you happy. Deuteronomy chapter 16. Let's turn to Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 11. Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 11. Read.
And thou shalt rejoice before the Lord Yahweh thy God, thou and thy son, and thy daughter, and thy manservant, and thy maidservant, and the Levite that is within thy gates, and the stranger, and the fatherless, and the widow that are among you, in the place which the Lord Yahweh thy God hath chosen to place his name there.
So much wisdom here. The theme, of course, being you must rejoice before Yahweh. Why should you rejoice before Yahweh? Number one, Yahweh is your God. Yahweh belongs to you. What a thrill when you come into the knowledge correctly that Yahweh being your God and your possession is actually with you all the time. And has always been with you. Now, you can tell from the response that some people are seemingly more conscious about Yahweh being their possession and with them than others. Some people are spooked out by believing when they see my body come in, here comes Yahweh. Some people actually believe that. They don't think that Yahweh is with them before they see my body. I'm trying to figure out, how do you breathe without Yahweh? Where was Yahweh before I picked up this body? Oh, I admit I am the glory of Yahweh. I admit I'm here in this body and you can behold Yahweh's glory. But are you trying to tell me that Yahweh does not exist except I manifest in bodily form? That's a question to some, and others have an answer. Some are conscious of what I'm saying, and some are unconscious as to what I'm saying. And you can look at the mystery in faces that some people don't know how Yahweh is with them. See, once you become conscious that I am with you in California and Africa, you have a reason to rejoice. You're sitting next to Yahweh. Yahweh sitting in front of you. Yahweh sitting behind you. Yahweh sitting above you. Yahweh sitting beneath you. Yahweh is omnipresent everywhere. Now, some people clap because they believe it, and that's why they clap. And that's wonderful. It's wonderful to believe. Believe me, it is. It helps. Belief helps. As long as you believe, you have a chance to learn. To believe that Yahweh is omnipresent, to believe that Yahweh is all around us, brings a certain measure of joy. But when you become conscious of how Yahweh is in you and how Yahweh is in the one next to you and how Yahweh is in all of us in this room, and then all of us come together, you can understand how we ought to rejoice and why we should rejoice in the consciousness of being in the presence of Yahweh magnified. See what's going on out here? Some people are just rejoicing, and just like the word said, and thou shalt rejoice before the Lord your God, Yahweh. And some are. Yeah, we still in Deuteronomy 16, verse 11. See, it said, and thou shalt rejoice. See, this is a two-edged sword word, and thou shalt rejoice. It could be like a future tense, something that you shall do in the future. And thou shalt rejoice, meaning that it could be interpreted to be a command, and that you do it simply because you're commanded to do so, but do it without understanding, comprehension. Do it without consciousness. Just do it because it's written. That's called manufactured joy. Manufactured joy, to me, is the same as phony joy. False joy. Phony and false joy is the one where you clap and you smile because you see others doing it. And you don't want to look like you out of it. It makes you feel funny when people are rejoicing over a word that you think you understand, and they're acting peculiar and happy about it, and it's not doing that for you. See, these people are reacting beyond my experience. These people are acting beyond the scope of my knowledge. These people are reacting over my head. They seem to be talking above my head. My head doesn't seem to reach where their head is. And it looks like it's a bunch of them doing this. If it were just one jumping up hollering, we'd swear they're crazy. But with so many rejoicing, we begin to wonder about our own condition. It's too many of them acting the same way, for it not to have something to do with me, and I can't quite relate to that. But at any rate, I want some of what they have, because what do they have? They have joy. I'm looking at the people who have joy. And I've been unhappy today and yesterday and the day before, and things haven't been going so good for me. And yet I come and see some people happy. And they seem to be happy from inside. It means that they have something that I don't really have. Yet I can tell it's something I'd like to have. Joy from within. Where you can just hear a man say a word and you just get all bubbly and happy and jumping around again. What's going on? Some people drink a fifth of scotch trying to feel this. Some people hang out all night long trying to get up to get to some of this. And get disappointed when they get home. Never reach this. And if they can attach themselves to some joy, it doesn't last long. It's real fast. And this joy with Yahweh ben Yahweh, it just seemed to keep coming. And it just come again and just keep coming and just seems to keep hanging around. And it just, how do you sustain such a orgasm as this? And it's something you don't have to hide to enjoy. It's something you can enjoy in the public, out in the open. You don't care who see you, enjoy it. Don't have to be ashamed or hide it. And when you become conscious, you shall rejoice before the Lord Yahweh, your God. Oh yeah, you can't help yourself. It says here that you shall rejoice. And then your son and your daughter. What does that mean? It means you have a job to do. You're going to have to reach out and get some sons and some daughters and bring them into consciousness. Who are the first fruits? The first fruits are the ones who become conscious of their air. Become conscious of Yahweh and their air. Those who become conscious of Yahweh and themselves. You can't help somebody else till you can help yourself. And I must tell you tonight, there's nothing like being satisfied. But once you're capable of satisfying yourself, you just don't want to keep it. You want somebody else to have some of this. Too good to keep to myself. I can't handle it. I got to let somebody else taste some of this. Some are looking mystified. What is this mystery? Woo! All you have to do is enter my school, take my yoke upon you, and learn of me. My yoke is easy. My burden is only light. Everybody who would like to have some of this, then you learn the song that LA congregation sings. I'm fully committed.
This concludes part 7 of Great is Yahweh ben Yahweh, the Holy One of Israel.